Hello, everyone. Today's episode is not the easiest one, but it is definitely interesting. We are going to talk about pain. Yes, it sounds unpleasant, but the human body is an amazing thing. We are going to talk about pain. Yes, it sounds unpleasant, but the human body is an amazing thing. It can handle incredible stress, heal itself, recover, warn us about danger, and sometimes send pain signals so strong that a person literally does not know what to do with themselves. Let me say this right away. This video is not meant to scare anyone. It is more about showing how fragile, but at the same time how strong our bodies can be. And also to remind us that it is always better to take care of our health before something goes wrong. So, get comfortable. This is the top 10 worst types of pain a human can experience. Number 10. Gout. Let's start with a disease that used to be called the disease of kings, or the rich man's disease. Gout is a type of arthritis where the joints become inflamed and start hurting very suddenly and very intensely. Most often, it affects the big toe, but the pain can also appear in other joints. Imagine sleeping peacefully and then suddenly waking up with the feeling that your toe is burning, swollen, and so sensitive that even the touch of a blanket feels like torture. That is exactly how many people describe a gout attack. In the past, people believed gout mostly happened to those who ate too much meat, fatty food, and drank a lot of alcohol. Today, gout has become much more common, especially in countries where people often do not eat in the healthiest way. And even though the disease may not look as terrifying as a serious injury or the sting of a venomous animal, the pain during an attack can be absolutely unbearable. Number 9. Tooth abscess. If you have ever had a severe toothache, then you already know. Tooth pain is its own special kind of suffering. But a tooth abscess is on another level. An abscess happens when an infection gets inside a tooth or gum. Pus begins to build up, pressure increases, the nerves become irritated, and the pain turns deep, throbbing, and extremely strong. Sometimes it feels like not just one tooth hurts, but the entire side of your face. The danger is that the infection can spread even further to the jaw, the face, and in serious cases, it can lead to dangerous complications. So the phrase, "I'll just wait and see if the tooth stops hurting," is a bad idea. If a tooth hurts badly and for a long time, it is better not to act tough. Go see a doctor. Number 8. Achilles tendon rupture. The Achilles tendon is one of the strongest tendons in the human body. It helps us walk, run, jump, and push off the ground with our feet. But when it tears, people often describe the feeling as if they were hit or even shot in the back of the leg. Interestingly, in the first few seconds, some people even turn around because they think someone attacked them. Then the sharp pain comes, along with the inability to step properly on the leg, and the realization that something very serious has happened. This injury is common among athletes, but it can also happen in everyday life. For example, during a sudden movement, a jump, or a fall. It is not only painful, but it can also take a long time to recover from. Number 7. Kidney stones. Kidney stones are a classic example of one of the most painful medical conditions. Even a tiny stone can cause so much pain that a person cannot sit, lie down, or stand calmly. The pain usually starts in the side or lower back and can spread down into the lower abdomen. Why does it hurt so much? Because the stone moves through the urinary tract, irritates the tissues, and can block the normal flow of urine. The body tries to push it out, while the person experiences waves of sharp, cramping pain. Many people compare it to childbirth, only without the happy ending of a baby being born. Nausea, vomiting, fever, and blood in the urine can also appear. It sounds scary, and yes, it really is extremely unpleasant. Number 6. Second-degree burns. When people talk about burns, many assume that third-degree burns are the most painful. But there is an important detail here. With very deep burns, the nerve endings can be badly damaged, and sometimes the person may feel less pain in the most burned area. Second-degree burns are that terrible middle ground. The skin is seriously damaged. Blisters appear. There is strong burning, swelling, and inflammation. But the nerve endings are still working, and they are working very actively. This kind of pain can be constant, throbbing, and burning. Any movement, the touch of fabric, air, or water can make the suffering worse. So burns are not only frightening to look at, but also incredibly painful to experience. Number 5. Childbirth. Childbirth is an amazing process that brings new life into the world. But let's be honest, it is also one of the most painful things a human can go through. During childbirth, the muscles of the uterus contract with enormous force. The body stretches, and the pressure on internal organs and tissues becomes intense. Many women describe the pain as waves that keep coming again and again, without giving the body much time to fully relax. At the same time, it is important to say that the pain of childbirth is different from many other types of pain. It has a purpose. It means the body is working and helping the baby come into the world. That is why, after everything they have gone through, many women still describe childbirth not only as difficult, but also as an incredibly important, emotional, and even beautiful experience. Number 4. Cluster headache. A regular headache is unpleasant. A migraine can be very hard to deal with, but a cluster headache is on a completely different level. It is often called one of the most intense pains known to medicine. Usually, it happens on one side of the head, most often around or behind one eye. People describe it as if someone is pushing a burning object straight into their eye socket. The scariest part is that the attacks can come in cycles, every day, sometimes several times a day, for weeks. Because of this, cluster headaches have received a very dark nickname: suicide headaches. Not because the name sounds dramatic, but because the pain can be so unbearable that a person may feel desperate and not know how to survive it. Number 3. Trigeminal neuralgia. The trigeminal nerve is responsible for sensation in the face, and when something goes wrong with it, a person can experience short but incredibly powerful bursts of pain. Trigeminal neuralgia is sometimes called one of the most brutal types of pain. People describe it as an electric shock, lightning strike, or a burning knife passing through the face. The pain can be triggered by the most ordinary actions: washing your face, talking, brushing your teeth, touching your cheek, or even a light breeze. The worst part is how unpredictable it can be. A person may become afraid to make even a small movement because they do not know what will trigger the next attack. This is not just physical pain. It also creates serious psychological stress. Number 2. Complex regional pain syndrome. Complex regional pain syndrome is a difficult condition where the nervous system seems to get stuck in pain mode. It usually happens after an injury, surgery, or damage to a limb, but the pain becomes much stronger than anyone would normally expect. An arm or leg may swell, change color, and become extremely sensitive to touch, cold, or heat. Even a light touch can feel like a serious injury. Over time, the pain may become worse, and treatment can be very complicated. What makes this condition so frightening is that the body seems to stop understanding signals correctly. The danger is already gone, the wound may have healed, but the pain remains. And the person is forced to live with the feeling that their own nervous system is working against them. Number 1. Tetanus. And in first place, we have tetanus. This disease is less common today thanks to vaccination, but that is exactly why it is important to remember how dangerous it can be. Tetanus is caused by bacteria that can enter the body through a wound, especially one contaminated with soil or rusty objects. The disease affects the nervous system and causes extremely powerful muscle spasms. It is also known as lockjaw because the muscles can contract so strongly that it becomes difficult for a person to open their mouth, swallow, or breathe. The spasms can spread through the whole body, arch the back, cause terrible pain, and become life threatening. The most important thing is that tetanus can be prevented with a vaccine. And this is exactly the kind of situation where prevention is much better than facing the real danger. So, that was our list of the worst types of pain a human can experience. Of course, pain is subjective. One person may handle an injury more easily, while another may suffer much more from a headache. But all the conditions on this list have one thing in common. They show how seriously we should treat our health. Take care of yourself, do not ignore warning signs, visit doctors when needed, and do not forget about prevention. What is the worst pain you have ever experienced? Only if you feel comfortable sharing it. Write it in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.